Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. This one's been a long time coming because we've been chatting, I guess, off and on. You're away. You're a pretty busy guy, which I appreciate, as I am as well. So I look forward to having a good chat with Danny about what you're doing, and we'll get in that in a
Mhm.
moment. I do see the audience is doing my job for me, which is amazing. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you all for joining and taking some time to hang with Danny and I. And please do hit that like and subscribe. I totally would appreciate that from anybody coming from your community.
Yep.
And in return, hope that people coming from my community will go and have a peek and see what you guys are all about as we dive into this and see what opportunities are available for
Good.
people that are needing to get into crypto, getting out of crypto, for people that want a revenue
Mm.
source, passive income source, all
Yep.
that kind of stuff. Obviously we'll go through the usual stuff. Danny, I'll let you maybe introduce yourself. Anybody
Mhm.
in the audience, if you guys have questions or whatever, don't hesitate to start throwing them down there. I can handle it. I'll put them aside. I won't necessarily get into them right away if I have some stuff I want to get in with Danny. But yeah, so I guess first off, like I said, before we get into StableSwap, if you can let us know, in case any of my community members don't know you, who are you and what brings you to crypto, and why are
Okay.
you why do you have a project?
No problem. No problem. Thanks for that, Justin. G'day to everybody out there. I can see the chat's going there, and
Yeah,
I know most of these people, I think. So,
awesome.
um, but yeah, basically, yeah, I'm for the ones that don't know, I'm Danny D, aka Electrician Man, and I'll go into Electrician Man at another, a little bit later on.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, look, I've been in the space for quite a while. My first touch into crypto was way back when Bitcoin was $17.
Nice. I wish I
So
thought about
yeah,
it then.
but the thing is, I didn't get like fully into it at that time either, because it was just one of those things. I just got married. I just bought this house that I'm in now, that kind of thing. And also back then, it was like, what is this really? I didn't have too much of an idea. So I mean, I dabbled in it over the years, and then got into it a little bit, and then took a step back again. And then back in 2020, December of 2020, I decided, I got a call from a good friend of mine, and actually one of my partners,
Nice.
and he said, "Bro, we got to get into DeFi." And I'm like, well, my laptop's dead. My mobile phone's just about on its way out. I'm so busy, and pretty much we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. But then, after the call, giving it some thought, I spoke to the wife and said, let's just do this.
Yeah.
And at the time, we really struggled. I know a lot of people on the streams there would probably have already heard my story, but we struggled, and again, in the middle of the pandemic, we scraped together $40.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all we could scrape together at that time, and we got into DeFi.
Well,
Fast forward a year and a half later, we were retired.
nice.
So yeah,
Opposite of my direction I went.
we made some good moves along the way. So
Nice.
which is really good. And then obviously after that, then we've had the last year and a half, or almost 2 years now, where things really started to take a dive, and it was expected anyway, but I don't think a lot of people were prepared for what
No,
we expected.
everybody expects nothing to end, right? They expect it all to keep being sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, and so out of that, what happened is that there are a lot of people. There's a lot of opportunists out there as
Mhm.
well, and unfortunately, we've seen a lot of that. So I mean, in recent times, we've seen a lot of rugs. We've seen a lot of projects go down. We've seen just crazy stuff, and I also experienced that myself. Now we've been in the game for quite a while, so we've had
Yeah.
our partnerships in regards to building StableSwap, etc. We've had this for quite a while. I mean, we're talking years in the making, but it just came about that, okay, well, this is the right time for us to come together and put this out. Um, and so StableSwap, which we'll obviously go into in a lot more detail, but basically that's where it was born from. It was about creating something that no coiners or people that have no knowledge of crypto can be, I guess, educated, so they have the knowledge to take their first steps into cryptocurrency,
Mhm.
and something that's going to allow them to do it quite comfortably, rather than getting involved in something just because someone says, "Oh, I'm making money in this," and then they get involved, and then the token dumps tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a pretty bitter pill to swallow when it's your first foray into the crypto space.
No, exactly. And we've seen it time and time again. We've even seen it where people get
Mhm.
invited by a friend into this one project, and that's all they know about DeFi is that one project. And
Yeah.
then it balloons because there's friends of friends of friends that don't understand the system getting in, and boom, it's then gone.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. We've seen that time and time again, and it's it's sad to see because there's people out there that are aware this happens, and they capitalize on that.
yeah,
And then there's people out there that just come into it with all the great intentions, and unfortunately they get screwed.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. No, I agree.
so I was sick of seeing that and sick of feeling that myself. And so with my partners, we decided that the right time for this for StableSwap is now.
Nice.
And it's been working fantastic. We launched on November 9, and it's been going great guns since.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Awesome. Like I said, I did see. I think Steve the Investor's first kind of
Mm.
AMA on it. That's what kind of got you on my radar because he and I have spoken a few times about things. So I always knew. Obviously, there was some comfort there. I've been busy with other things as well, so I haven't really gotten to it. But then my community asked me, which was nice to see. And when they suggest stuff, I like to try and get some interest in it for
Mhm.
both them and us, because I have a neat opportunity being a YouTuber to have these more
Yeah.
candid conversations and be able to bring them to my community, which is awesome. So I appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
I guess I
Thanks.
didn't say at the start of this, you guys don't do paid marketing. You guys don't do
No.
paid advertising. So this is not a sponsored video. I did it because my community asked, and I don't
Yes.
mind doing those things, and I don't have to
Mhm.
get paid for that. I manage myself in a way that I don't have to be one of those shill
Yeah.
YouTubers, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
So I definitely have some details and some things I want to get into. But first off, maybe if you want to just give us that 40-foot view, 40,000 feet ceiling view of what
Yeah.
this is about, what you guys are doing, and how it's benefiting both the users of crypto or people of crypto, and then obviously how it's giving passive income for someone, I guess.
Yes. Okay. All right. So basically, what we've created with StableSwap is an opportunity for the people to provide liquidity to a system that uses stablecoins.
Mhm.
Okay, so you don't have your volatility, and you basically providing liquidity that is used to fill orders on an external revenue source, which is our OTC.
Okay.
Okay, and it's actually multiple OTCs. So basically, OTC for the people that don't know is over the counter. So it's a facility that allows you to go from fiat into crypto and vice versa. Okay,
Yeah.
the OTC also allows for things like remittance. Okay, through our
Mhm.
system, and I should say first, StableSwap right now we're in the Philippines. Okay, we're
Okay.
based in the Philippines, and one of the reasons we looked at this is that the Philippines, alone, I think in remittance is about $32 billion a year. Okay,
Yeah. Oh,
so
nice.
incoming remittance, because obviously Philippines is well known for its overseas Filipino workers. So the people are the biggest export
Hmm.
basically. And so they go out, they work abroad, and then they send their money back. And then in traditional ways, they use, things like Western Unions and things like that, which is there's definitely a place for that. But we're allowing them that another option. We're giving them another option by using our OTC
Yeah.
for remittance services. So basically, what happens is our OTC is external revenue that is used to provide the rewards for the liquidity provisions on the StableSwap system ecosystem. Yeah. So, and there's I don't know if we're going to go into all this, want to go into all the specifics, but I mean, there's different terms that you can do, and there's different APRs as well. So the way that it's structured is that it's zero ponzonomics, because um, none of the liquidity that's put into the system is used to pay out rewards. All
Okay.
rewards and all functions is all on external revenue. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I thought I'd just pull it up quickly, but
Yeah. Okay.
and obviously, if you'd like me to go in, I do now. I full disclosure, I am not in this yet. As I said,
That's
this is
fine.
my first time having a chat with you, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to get in until then. I may choose to later on.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
so, but is there anywhere you want? So basically, as a user, or
yes.
sorry, as a an investor, I guess, if you will, I'm putting in the liquidity to help you guys. Is that the idea?
Well, it's not really to help us. Basically, this is an opportunity that we put out there. I mean, we could literally use liquidity providers if we wanted to,
Hmm.
and we could also fund these things ourselves. But we just looked at it as an opportunity to share with the people, That's why the rewards in here is actually called advanced fee sharing. So
Okay.
we're sharing rewards, transaction fees, etc., with the people. And
Okay.
so, it really is about the whole vision here is to bring crypto back to the streets pretty much and make it accessible for everybody. And the way we do that is by use of obviously with stable coins because you don't get that volatility.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, where we could start there is like within the liquidity pools there, you can see that you got short term, long term, and medium term. And effectively, what happens? You provide liquidity onto the system, and then that liquidity that you provided is used to fill orders on the OTC and our other businesses on the outside. So again, none of that liquidity that's put in is used to pay us or anything like that. We also generate our income, our profits through the transactions. Okay.
Okay. So, and that's maybe where I had a disconnect because when I first
Mhm.
saw this, and I guess I didn't take the time, and that's again, that's
Yeah,
why I
that's
moved
fine.
here. So the people coming in here, they're providing liquidity. You guys could do that, but you're offering them a service for investors to invest in. But it's not
Right.
liquidity for your little niche in here. You're actually
No.
providing it to tons of
Yeah.
others, and liquidity managing. So, are you guys providing the liquidity kind of? Is there specific spots? Are you allowed to go into that? Is there is
Yeah.
there places that
Basically,
people
what
know?
happens? We're powered. We're powered by StableSwap is powered by Top One Tech, which is fully licensed through Banco Central over here, which is central bank. So it's a government bank. Okay, and the licenses that they hold is EMI, which is electronic money issuer,
Yeah.
and also VASP is virtual asset service provision.
Okay.
What that does is it gives us custodial rights to that liquidity that's added there, and also management rights. Okay,
Okay.
so that's how it's done externally. So it goes through to Top One Tech, and which Top One Tech can then use it for, like, obviously we have our own OTC as well. Okay, StableSwap OTC, but it there's other companies that Top One Tech also provides liquidity for.
Okay.
Okay,
So in essence, I guess one way, and I like simplifying things and just thinking about things
that's fine.
methodically, but so I guess the idea of what you guys are trying to do there then is you guys have become almost a venture capitalist, I guess, if you will, and you're offering them investors the opportunity to be involved in yours because you're being the bigger money, or
Um, um, not really. Let me wrap my head around that one for a second.
yeah.
So,
Well, I'm
okay,
just thinking
I'm
because you
gonna
guys
yeah.
to do this, what you're doing and to add value, the point of it would be to give those extra because to create these rewards that you're creating,
Yes.
obviously you're buying in bulk in some way, obviously, to create those kind of rewards. So I guess I'm just thinking of it more as a because you guys are pooling everybody's funds together, you're able to have
Yeah.
better buying power to buy where these liquidity
Well,
pools
not
are needed.
no, not really. Again, this is about transactions. So, for example, we have our OTC. So, anyone that wants to, on ramp or off ramp using our OTC or use it for remittance, there's fees. So, basically, this is used to fill orders.
Okay.
It's not like we're trading it. So, it's not like we take the whole thing, sell the whole thing as one into something else, and then just making profits of that. I mean, we
Yeah.
do that, but it's more about the actual transactions themselves.
Okay.
Okay, so
And the
it's
transactions aren't just based on what happens inside StableSwap. You have access to other places where you're doing it.
absolutely, it's all again, the revenue is external.
Gotcha.
So and that's what keeps it sustainable, and also not Ponzonomics. Zero Ponzonomics is because of the fact that, again, how it is now, as you can see there, we've got over 2,000 providers, and with the
Mhm.
liquidity provided is over $2 million now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if that stopped today, if no new person joined or nobody provided any more liquidity from this day forth, the system would still be working.
Yeah.
It's not
Well, which
dependent on new people coming in.
yeah. I mean, I guess the only thing that is could be does it change in bear and bull when there's less transactions? Do you guys have less opportunities? Is there
Not
any
really.
change there?
I think even, I mean, we're in the middle of a bear. Yeah, we're still in the
Ish.
bear.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
we're kind of
it.
in between. Like
Yeah,
volumes actually, we reached actually volumes of almost the
yeah,
height of the bull the other day,
yeah.
which is
So
crazy.
I don't think it really makes that much of a difference here. I mean, no matter what, people are still going to be using stables.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Exactly. That's true.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, people are going to be using stables, and that's it's proven itself time and time. Even when the market's red, that's what I love about my community as well. They laugh about it and they go, "Look, the market's red, but has it affected us? Absolutely not."
No. Now, I guess
Absolutely.
be that as it is, because you guys aren't taking any risk and not dealing with tokens that are volatile.
Yeah. Mhm.
I mean, normally, if I do a liquidity pool with USDT, USDC, I'm
Yeah,
not getting these kind of returns. So,
absolutely.
yeah. So how is it that you guys are able to get that? I guess is maybe the better question.
Okay, yeah. So again, it's based on transaction fees. So I mean, the way that the OTC makes money is obviously you've got a spread.
Mhm.
Okay, so your buys and sells, you've got the spread, the difference between the sell price and the buy price. So there's obviously, we make money on that, but then also, just general transaction fees. Now, you look at it this way. Our current liquidity pools right now, or liquidity provisions right now, our biggest liability there is what the APR that we offered on our early bird promo, which was 0.53% daily.
Okay.
Okay, 0.53% daily. Now, if you look at the transactions on OTCs and you're looking at generally the fees are anywhere between 1.5 to 12%.
Okay.
Okay, and that's turned over numerous times in a day. Even if you base it on the minimal 1.5%, 1.2 to 1.5%, and you only turned it over once, we're still already ahead, already sustainable.
Gotcha. So it's almost arbitraging, I guess, in a sense,
To a
between
degree, yeah.
currencies.
Yeah.
So you guys aren't.
Not
I guess what
trading.
what I'm trying to kind of
Yeah.
play around with here is you guys aren't just getting into a pancake swap USDT USDC pool
No,
and letting
absolutely
people.
not.
This is all done through bringing fiat in, where you can charge a much higher fee and create a much higher
Yeah.
return
Yeah. So
on these
basically,
transactions.
like someone comes in, they want to go and buy USDT, so they got to put in fiat. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So that
then
makes a difference. That
that
makes sense.
gets
Okay.
transferred over, and then someone wants to then sell the USDT, and then we got the fiat to do so. So it just
Gotcha.
basically
Yeah, so
shifts
you're
the
dealing
wallets
more with
around.
the banks rather than just the
Yeah,
DeFi space, which is where your
yeah,
larger rewards are going to be able to be sustainable because the
yeah.
cost to move fiat to crypto is far higher, especially depending on which countries. Which I believe you guys, I
Correct.
noticed like a lot of there's specific countries that you see on there,
Yes.
specific currencies you guys deal with. I assume because those are the harder ones to on ramp and off ramp.
No, it's all about licensing.
Okay,
It's all about licensing. Like right now, 100% fully operational within the Philippines because we have the licenses for EMI and VASP. Okay, and then the other areas that are coming now, you got India, you got Turkey, Arab Emirates, etc. So all these countries are coming on board with our own OTCs as well. Okay,
gotcha.
OTC is being set up there. So, at the moment, the OTC part of it is not available to US or Canadian or, and a lot of other parts of the world, but
Mhm.
that doesn't limit you to actually providing liquidity on the system and that being
Gotcha.
used.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the external revenue could happen anywhere in the world and it would still be sustainable for the ecosystem because it doesn't matter where that is.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we're
You don't care
kind of
where the money's coming
borderline.
from for the
Yeah,
investors. You just need that to facilitate the movement of
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
So we're I guess Web 3 and Web 2, CFI and DeFi, so we're like 2.5,
Yeah.
you know.
But
So
we need those
it's
bridges, and some
yeah,
countries need those bridges more than others because their banking systems are still more archaic than
absolutely.
even our like Canadian banking system is. People don't realize it's archaic. We still live in DOS Windows sometimes for some of the stuff. I used to work for a bank,
Yeah,
but I'm sure if we're that far behind, there's countries that are still dealing with
absolutely.
paper. So wow,
Absolutely.
okay. So I got a couple of questions here, so we'll jump
Yeah,
to those for a minute, and then we'll dive in a little more. But when you provide USDT, you're getting paid in USDT, and this like, how do you? I guess they're
yes,
talking
that's
about the
right.
staking part here.
So and that's the thing that people got to be aware of. Like when you put in, so you have three different options. Well, you have two options for the coins, and then three different options depending on the coin that you use, um, for what chain you want to go on. So we have USDT and USDC.
Right.
Okay, USDC you can do on Ethereum or Binance chain.
Okay.
USDT you can do Tron, Ethereum, or Binance chain.
I'm assuming. Oh, I
Okay.
guess it might not come up because I didn't do anything. But okay.
Yeah.
So based on what chain you have access to. Sorry, do you want to say
Yeah.
those again in case anybody didn't hear them? But,
Yeah. So you got Tron Chain,
yep.
Ethereum, and Binance Smart Chain for
Perfect.
USDT. USDC is only Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain.
Oh, gotcha. And the
Yeah.
nice, I mean, if you have Binance, Tron, you've pretty much got the gamut, and then Ethereum for the
Yeah.
people that really haven't divulged in anything else.
Yeah, because Ethereum's actually really expensive, and we got
Yeah.
different levels of like different minimal amounts for Ethereum. Okay,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
If you're going to do deposit of Ethereum, you have to do a minimum of 250 USDT or
Otherwise, it's
USDC.
not worth it. Yeah.
It's really not. You know.
And then if you put in USDT, are you earning rewards in USDT?
Yes, absolutely. Whatever you go in at is what you're earning rewards on, and what you take out as well.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
you've got to come out on the same network. So you can't go in with for example, USDT on Tron and then try to take it out on BSC or try to take it out on Ethereum.
Yeah. Okay.
And effectively, what that does and what that means is that you are the money that you put into liquidity
Mhm.
is actually still yours,
Yeah.
right? Because you're not exchanging it for an LP token or anything like that. You're not exchanging it for something. You are actually putting it in. It's we have custodial over it, and then also management rights. Sorry. And then at the end of that term, so as you can see there, like on the screen now, you're looking at 300 days. At the end of that term, you don't need to claim or withdraw. It automatically goes back to your StableSwap wallet at the end
Gotcha.
of that.
And am I able to remove my rewards just ongoing whenever I want?
Your rewards are daily.
Okay.
So as long as there's only one threshold there, is that you have to have a minimum of 50 USDT or USDC accumulated or accrued into your StableSwap wallet before you can actually withdraw it. Again, that's based on the fact that there's internal fees, gas fees, and things like that. We don't actually charge you any fees for deposits either.
Okay.
We shoulder that ourselves. So just got to. At the end of the day, it's still a business.
Of course. Now, with that being the case that it's business and you have fixed rates of return, you guys obviously already have the math behind it to know that you can generate those rewards
absolutely.
for people, and then some. I guess obviously you've got margin.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems really simple on the outside, but the system in the back end is actually very complex.
Oh, I
And when
can't imagine.
and then when you take into account like licensing, the regulations and compliance that we have to meet to be able to provide these services, like through partnership with Top One Tech, it's not something that. I mean, look, right now there's $2 million sitting in there in liquidity. Okay,
Yeah,
that's nothing compared to what we'd had to put in over the years, to be able to have these licenses. So there's no way, that there's just so many things that you have to cross your T's and dot your I's with everything. And, again, because we're regulated by.
Well, as soon as you start connecting with the fiat world, you're done. Like,
yeah, that's right.
To do this, the costs and everything else is ridiculous.
Exactly. And that's another reason why I'm out here openly showing my face every week. I'm not hiding in the background because I know what goes into the background. I mean, if this was going to be a dodgy thing, brother, I'm a family man. Right? I've got 6 children. I'm not prepared to jeopardize my family or my lifestyle or my life.
Exactly. And that's why I invited you, right? Like I also don't want to have that kind of crap on my channel anymore. Like, I never wanted it on there, but like us all, we made mistakes and we maybe went into things that didn't work out. But no, I've been pretty lucky that I've not had any of those rugs on my plate in a long time. Perfect. And so Quarter Mile is just asking if banks and fiat are involved. I'm assuming because of the liquidity providing, there's really no need for any of that because that's all crypto related. There really is no fiat involved on this end.
That's right.
And for the regular stuff where people are coming in and exchanging it, I believe the way you said it, it's being done through other companies where people are bringing fiat in and they take care of that.
In other countries. Yeah. And in regards to the OTC side of things, if anyone's going to be actually using the OTC, you have to go through the KYC process as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. But anyone using the normal platform just for liquidity provisions, no, you don't have to do any KYC.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So me coming in and just doing what I'm doing in here, providing liquidity, if I don't choose to use the actual fiat side of this at all, it's almost like a regular staking app.
It is. You don't, as you know, when you created your account there for your login, all you need to do is provide username and email.
No, exactly. There was nothing. Yeah.
That's it. There's nothing else. I mean, there is a section there where you can fill in all your details, but I mean, that's not a requirement at all.
Yeah.
Unless you are using the OTC, which again in USA and Canada at the moment,
we wouldn't be doing.
You can't do that anyway.
Can't do.
So there's no tax forms or things like that. Anything else, it's the same as anything else you do in crypto, right? Yeah. You organize your own tax. I mean, that's the DeFi side of it.
Yeah, you choose whether you claim stuff or not. Hopefully everybody does. I mean, I'm on camera, so I have a business. I have to claim everything because I mean it's kind of hard to tell people what I'm doing and then
Yeah.
tell the government I'm not doing anything.
Exactly.
Richie's asking, are investments insured? Is because you're dealing with fiat and stuff, is there anything?
Well, obviously on the back end of
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
on the back end, obviously things like that happen. But for the general user, no, there's no insurance on that. Obviously, that's the DeFi side again.
Yeah.
That's not,
That's why you're getting 0.35. Because if you guys
yeah,
had to insure that as well, the margins just went down by about 50
yeah,
to 60% at least.
yeah. I mean, even at 0.35 for us, it's sustainable.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the model that we use.
Yeah.
So that's not the question there, but it's more about, again, if you want to talk about insurances and stuff like that, well, then you're going to be having to do your own KYC or like KYC and stuff like that. I mean, that's what most people don't want that.
Well, and that's the funny thing too, right? People will ask for all this stuff, and I want this. I don't want any risk. I don't want that. Well, then you're in the wrong place, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You also don't want to give your information up, but you also want to make them. Yeah, you can't have both. But yeah, I get it. I agree and understand.
Yeah.
Is there an audit like? So you guys, this is not a smart contract, I presume, or is it
Not
a
a
smart
smart
contract?
contract. No, it's not a smart contract.
Okay.
So yeah, and people have asked for the audits. So again, people ask these things because StableSwap is very different. It's very different to what most
I
people are
think you
used
may have wanted to stay away from the stable name, but I get it's done now. I'm sure that
Yeah.
joke's been said.
Actually, yeah. Look, people have said things to me about. I don't know. They've mentioned. I think there was one called Stable Fund or something like that.
Yeah.
People have mentioned these things and they're trying to compare us to it, and I go, I don't even know what that is.
No, and again, I see. I mean, it's hard. We all get connections, right? There's things that connect us, and obviously, yeah, stable fund. It'll be like you can't compare them. I don't agree with that at all. But it will still give people the the heebie-jeebies. So
yeah, no, for sure. And again, that's another thing with us. Look, with that community, and we've had our community. There's like zero FUD.
nice.
Right? People understand it or they don't.
Yeah.
And people get into it or they don't. And that's really where we're at. I mean, that's why we haven't done this aggressive marketing or anything like that. It's just been all based on organic growth.
Nice.
You understand it. If you don't understand it, ask questions. If you're still not satisfied with those questions, well, this maybe is not for
Don't
you.
invest. Yeah.
Don't invest. I mean, that's
Yeah,
the reality.
I don't
We're
get
not here to sell anybody on it,
Yeah,
Well,
and don't tell people about it. And I guess the only other side of it that I wanted to get into a little bit, just because again, and this is where you probably get compared to something sometimes, is
Yes.
because there's a fixed return and because there's an affiliate program. Now, affiliate, I don't really have an issue with. I'll let you talk about that because I just want people to understand. And I guess how does it work? Let's go down that road a little bit. I do have a link down below, guys. If you want to use it, by all means, but I don't care if you do or not.
Yeah, look, I'm glad that you brought that one up. And a lot of times people will shy away from that part of it. But there's actually some major changes that are going to be coming at the end of this month in regards to the affiliate side. Like when we launched this, we did put a rewards program in. But in doing that, unfortunately, and we've had like 4.5 months now to see all of this come to fruition and where we are today. And we never wanted to launch and look like we were an MLM. Okay. And I'll say straight out, we are not an MLM. Okay. We're not multi-level marketing. So if people are trying to get into it for that, then yeah. And I can see why. Okay. But it's one of those things you do stuff and then you have to like do updates and upgrades. And it's like even having a mobile phone, you're always going to get firmware upgrades because it's never built perfect, right from day. Okay. So basically with this year in the current status there, current situation, you got 5%, 2%, 1%, which is relative to different levels. So your 5%. So if anyone comes in, like let's say you've created your account, someone comes in directly underneath you, then, once they provide a liquidity provision on every single liquidity provision they do, you would automatically get paid equivalent to 5% of whatever they're putting in. So if they put in $100, you get 500. Sorry.
$5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and then on top of that, you get what we call an AFS bonus, which is anything that particular liquidity provision generates on a daily basis. Okay. Only the liquidity provisions on a daily basis, the system would also pay you equivalent to 10% of what they're earning. This is from your direct, huh? Okay. So equivalent to 10%. So if they make $100, you're making 10 every day, every single day. And it's all just automatic. It just gets paid to you. Now, up until this point, we've had a second and a third level. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I will be removing that at the end of the month.
Okay. And I think that's a great move.
So I don't want to, yeah, because what it is, there's a thing that's stipulated out there that in like even in the MLM world, which I have been into as well. So I'm no stranger to it, but I'm no stranger to it. But basically, there's a stipulation there that you are not supposed to earn money or any generate any revenue from someone that you are not directly dealing with.
Hmm.
Okay. So your first level, you're obviously usually, 99% of the time you're actually having some kind of interaction with them,
Yeah.
whether it's, yeah. But your second and third level, I mean, you don't even have to know them,
Yeah.
but
You just
you're
happen to like, well, a YouTuber could do a YouTuber and then get all these extra
yeah,
bonuses, and they can refer, or somebody the same person can then create two accounts. Like there's different things that can happen.
yeah, that's right. But basically, there's that stigma of that MLM,
Yeah,
multi-level
absolutely.
marketing, et cetera, and we're removing it. There's
Okay.
no way that I'm going to jeopardize our whole ecosystem based on someone trying to make a complaint on something that's MLM.
Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I'm
No,
not
and I
going to.
think that's a great move. I mean, like I said, I have no issue with creating your own advertising budget that way. I think it's
Yes.
a great tool if used wisely. But the multi-level part, I do agree. So that's nice to see that you're making those
Yeah.
changes.
Mhm.
And Fuzzy just asked, the funds rewards paid there in your SS wallet do not earn. They need to be staked. So
Yes.
I guess the rewards, do they auto? Is there a way to auto compound them, or do they just get paid out?
They're not auto compounded. So what you can do, people ask, oh, can I DCA? Can I compound? Right, and that's fine. Basically, each liquidity provision is its own contract,
Okay,
and anytime you put additional money in, then that's a whole new one.
got
Okay, so that would be on different days and different times, et cetera,
it.
et
Awesome.
cetera. So, yeah, the rewards on those get paid. Like, let's say that you're to create a liquidity provision right now at 9:32 a.m., where it is for me.
Mhm.
Okay. 24 hours after that, rounded up to the nearest 5 minutes. So it would
Okay,
be at 9:35 a.m. tomorrow would be the day you get your first reward.
gotcha.
And that automatically goes into your stable swap balance. You don't have to click claim. You don't have to do anything like that. It just automatically happens. Now, once that builds up to a minimum of 25,
Mhm.
you can then actually take that and create a new liquidity provision, because
Gotcha.
you've got the three. You've got the 60 days, 120 days, and 300 days. For the 60 days and 120 days, it's a minimum of 50 USDT or USDC.
Okay,
Okay, the 300 days is minimum of 25,
gotcha.
and most people are going for the 25, the 300 days, because obviously that's the best APR.
Well,
Okay,
exactly, and I mean, if you have faith, have trust, whatever, then 300 days is well. I mean, it's long in DeFi world, but not so long in
yeah,
in regular
It's
things.
it's it's
Um,
long, but the thing is that depending on what you put in, those rewards you're getting paid that every single day without having to
well,
check
exactly.
your account, without having to do anything. It automatically goes straight back to your balance. I mean, to be honest with you, there's a few people out there, and I can see a couple in the chats there right now that are already like into the thousands of dollars a month,
Yeah, yeah.
a
Because
month
they've got enough
return.
in there. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and
Good.
actually
Yeah,
on my live stream last weekend,
yeah.
someone did $100,000 during my live stream.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Nice. I wish I had that amount to do, but I
Well,
don't.
now you see, just to give you an example, that guy with 100,000, whoever it is, I know I don't even know who they are,
Yeah.
right? They're now earning 480 because they came in on a promo, which is 0.48%,
Oh,
okay,
nice.
which is just for the day. So for the next 300 days, they're earning 0.48% daily. So they're earning $480 a day, $14,400 a month
Yeah, yeah. Wild. Adds
on
up.
stable. And you can, and that's the beautiful thing about it, because it's stable. You can literally budget that for
Yeah.
the next 300 days,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Wild. Gotta love it.
And knowing it's not going to dump.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, ugh, I can't speak. It's late for me. I'm actually getting ready to get to
That's
bed, but
okay.
and
Yeah,
it's early for you.
yeah,
Anybody have any questions, guys? If there's anybody else, I do see a couple of my crew are in here, and I've seen a couple of comments and questions from you guys, so I appreciate that, and definitely seen a bunch of your guys here.
yeah.
And yes, please. Crypto Girl says, hit the like. You got to listen to her. Um, they're held to 100. I'm assuming he meant about the funds. Do you know what they might have meant by that? They are held
Um,
to 100.
Bull market, bear market, Bitcoin up. No, pay is the same. I'm not 100%
Yeah, Blue
sure.
Chip, if you have a clarification on what you were saying there, I apologize. I'm not sure where that linked in. Sometimes the
Yeah,
comments are from earlier, so it's hard, but
yeah, that's okay.
um, yeah, there you go. Yeah, 300, because 300 days, I guess, is, I was just quickly doing that. Your
Yeah,
ROI is in 300 days. So, I mean, after that, it's just gravy, which is nice. So,
yeah,
um, so yeah.
absolutely. Actually, no, your ROI is even
Less than that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's roughly about 7 months.
285 days is actually what I calculated for the 0.35 actually, because I calculated that a second ago.
Yeah. Just for your viewers that do see that APR, just so
Mhm.
you know, the APR, obviously, for anyone out there that doesn't know, APR is based on 365 days.
Yeah.
So it's annual percentage rate, but the term of this is only 300 days. So you take that APR, divide it by 365, and
True.
multiply it
Yeah,
by
yeah.
300 to give you your true
True
um,
number.
number. Which actually, when you work it out on a daily,
Yeah.
it's much easier to work it out on the
Well, and
daily.
again, I like something like this. I could see people obviously if the faith is there, and again, having a face on it makes it huge. All
Mhm.
these different things are huge. It's a nice place to take your money that you've played with and the money that you've gambled with, take your
Yeah.
profits and put it somewhere where you can feel comfortable that it can earn better than the banks. And to me, what my plan is kind of multifaceted. It's I'm going to play in DeFi for a bunch, and then at some point I'm going to get into something in DeFi still that then will be going to fiat.
Yeah.
I could see this being one of those nice tools where you just know and you can budget. Okay, this is what I'm paying myself now, while I still play around with my other money in DeFi.
Yes.
So neat. And somebody looking for some alpha. When's the next promo? And I guess how do you guys work those? Like, 'cause
That's totally at my discretion.
there you go. And is that just you guys kind of look at it and go, okay, we're earning enough money. We have this little nest egg, I guess. Is that what how you kind of
No,
dictate those?
actually, basically, it's just one of those things. It's about engagement.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
we don't do any other real promotions. We don't do any other advertising or marketing. It's all just through word of mouth, and we'd just like to reward the community. So
Okay.
every now and then, I'll just throw in a much higher APR than normal, and then people just go crazy on it.
Okay.
It's great. It keeps things exciting, because as you'll see, people in the chats, they're saying things like, oh, it's so boring, but we love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And that's something that's just become one of those catch cries within our community. It's so boring.
That's
So
awesome.
we need to break the boredom a little bit by me throwing in some promos from time to time.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
just to
We
lighten up a little
generally
bit.
do it like a couple of times a month. Hey, Wonder Woman.
Just obviously somebody that knows you saying you rock.
Yeah.
Giovanni, I'd obviously suggest you look back at the rest of the AMA. And I guess while we're at this point, since this question's
Yeah.
brought up, is there anything you wanted to say? Or I mean, I know we've kind of talked about it, but anything specific about how you guys? I'm trying to say how to word this. I guess I can
Yeah.
see obviously some validity here. I think
Yeah.
obviously with the face, with the fact that you're dealing with real companies, you're dealing with fiat, which
Yeah.
has higher margins. Is there anything you can say to people, or any proof that you guys have in the pudding that can kind of give people comfort that you guys are a company legit that's going to be here for 300 days plus, and that kind of thing?
Yeah. One, we've just signed a lease for 2 years on a physical office,
Nice.
which you can come and visit me in. I'm there pretty much every Thursday. I'm actually going there again today. I mean, how many other devs will invite you to come and see them in their office?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, there also is the fact that we need to actually be able to get there too. So,
Yeah.
but maybe
Well,
that's something. Maybe if you guys have a little extra coffers, you can pay for some guy to come down and hang with you for a day.
but it's been good, because I mean, I've even done a live stream from the office where I've actually had
Nice.
people from the community have turned up, and
Awesome.
in the office, so they can, I'm out there every day in the telegrams and out there, and I'm approachable. And when you look at, okay, things like our roadmap has taken a little bit of a delay. It's been delayed a little bit on certain parts, only because we've had this 3.5 months of seeing how the business is going to work, and things like that. Well, not
Yeah.
seeing how it's going to work, but just looking at the progress, and then having to make adjustments to accommodate certain things. So our focus has been more about the actual back end corporate structure, etc., to make things safer for everybody and make it more
Gotcha.
sustainable. So, but if you look at our roadmap, I mean, we're opening offices in India, Dubai, Turkey, Vietnam, Malaysia, and then all these other areas. And we're then looking at Central America and Latin America as well.
Okay. I was
Now
trying to get to the
all of
thing,
this is
but
going
once
to
you're
take
logged
longer.
in, you can't get back to the main website.
Log out.
Okay, because I'm like, it keeps bouncing me back off.
Yeah.
We'll look at that later, but people can
Yeah.
go look that up. Okay, awesome. So there's lots of growth opportunities there. Obviously, there's some transparency in the fact that people can come and see you, and you've had live videos where people have
Yes.
come to see you, which is great.
Yes.
So that, I mean, and if anybody wants more comfort than that, then join the Telegram. I did put the link below in the description, and that's always great and a great way to kind of see everybody. And then, sorry, I'm just going back to the comments. Yeah, thanks Quarter Mile for stopping by. And to get a thanks and it sounds awesome from Quarter Mile, that's a good thing. He's usually pretty hard with his questions. so so that's a good one. It will not die. This is finally everyone. And I hate to get too FOMO-y about anything, but I appreciate that, Nemo, and glad you have some great faith in this. And I see the reason why you would, and I hope that we can definitely keep that up. I just hate going. I will not be a cheerleader for anyone. Sort
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. But I will definitely say that I feel I'm happy I had the conversation, and I hope a lot of my community has a peek at this AMA. A lot of times it gets watched afterwards. There has been a great showing, though. I appreciate all you guys coming by. They're required to maintain. Okay, so that's what he was talking. Transparency by bank. So this is Banco Central is what you guys are with.
Yeah, which is central bank, which is the government bank.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. I wondered that.
They issue the licenses.
Gotcha. So, and can people see that? Like, is that
absolutely
stuff?
Yep. Okay. They can search. I mean, if anyone's in the Telegram, there's within our questions and answers and within our community videos and things like that, there's actually quite a few community members that have actually done the videos on due diligence and have gone into every single detail of everyone, and so
brilliant. I'm sorry, I wish we had brought that up earlier, but hopefully people stay till the end and hear that, because that's worth knowing and seeing. That's massive transparency. And yeah, stress-free is that's all I ever want in this space. I mean, I don't play with meme coins. I get it. I could win the lottery, but I have no desire for that. And backup plan is anything. I mean, I'm assuming this is a corporation. You guys probably have some stuff already built in for all that.
Absolutely. Depending on what happens, I mean, look, again, anything can happen, but we've got so many different angles that we have to consider. Obviously, we've got the CFI side, we've got the DeFi side, we've got the physical offices, we've got other things that are coming into it. I mean, we're bringing in P2P lending as well.
Oh, nice.
Alpha. So we've got micro lending, P2P lending that's coming into it. We've got like P2P marketplaces being added to it. We've got our physical app that's coming out as well. P2P marketplace is similar to like Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Okay. But basically, everyone that's on it has to be KYC'd.
Gotcha.
So you don't have any scammers or anything like that, but you can actually sell whatever you want on there. But just knowing that whoever's buying and selling is a legitimate person.
Yeah, and it's not some, because I know there was a lot of those in the back in the day, but they were very sketchy, whether you get the exchange. So awesome.
That's right. So, and this is not just crypto. It could be anything. You could be selling cars or whatever you want on it.
Oh, you're bringing everything. Oh, nice.
As a real marketplace, and everyone is KYC'd, and you can actually then use StableSwap to make the transactions for the
eBay of tomorrow.
Pretty much. So it's crazy where we're going. Nice. When you look deeper into it and where we're going with the roadmap, this is not something that's going to be here for just a year. I mean, this is like it's a forever play.
Nice. No, that's good. And John, I agree. Then this is what more people need to think about is realizing where real profits are, real opportunities are, and not trying to get rich quick. I think is definitely part of my mantra lately. And the more people that realize that, the better, I think.
It seems like I know I blab on. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So do I. I appreciate having somebody else do it a bit.
No, basically, this is something I always say to my community, and I always say on my streams as well, is that people have got to have that little bit of a mind shift now. A lot of people come into this space thinking about the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis and the castles and all of that stuff because of these like high APRs that are offered. Sometimes are super unrealistic, but people jump on board. And I'm not saying people don't make money, but unfortunately, with a lot of things like that, people, you make a win because someone's making a loss, and I don't like to associate with that anymore. I don't want to get into those things. Okay, so basically, they have to have that mind shift that. Okay, instead of thinking about this Ferrari, how about I think of my smallest bill first? If I can cover my smallest bill through revenue generated through passive income through crypto, right? Then that's great. Once you do that, then you do your next one and your next one and your next one. And before you know it, all your bills are being paid passively. And that's
the cash flow and the compounding effect that has is massive.
Absolutely.
So I work for a bank, so I got that stuff's all in my head. But but it wasn't when I first got in here, and I made my mistakes too. But people need to wake up, and hopefully the new people coming in don't do enough research or find the right people to hopefully not make the same mistakes we all made. But we know what's going to happen in some cases, but it is what it is. Awesome. I'm just going to see if there's any other first platform I've been in that I'm not exit liquidity anymore yet. Don't we all wish that? So I appreciate you, Danny, for making that happen for Tony. And thanks for hanging out, girls. So, I mean, I did say we wanted to try and keep it around 30 minutes. I do appreciate we went longer. I'm okay with that because I feel the conversation was really good. So I appreciate you being an interactive guest with adding some value to the space and for all you do for DeFi, because I think we need more of these people wearing that kind of white hat, I guess, if you will, and bringing quality stuff to us. So I appreciate your time. If anybody has any questions, please do join the Telegram. That's pretty much the best spot for you guys.
Yeah, that's generally it. Yeah, get me on the Telegram. I'm there pretty much every day. I'm not as active as I was, but I do check it every day. And if there's something of importance that I need to, to address, I will do.
But you have a team there, I presume.
There's a team there. But even with the team, it's one of those things that because I'm out here, people try to contact me directly.
Of course.
Sometimes. And I'll try to keep up with that as best as I can, but obviously the faster we grow, the more that we grow, the more people are messaging me, and it's a lot harder for me to keep up with everything.
As a community manager as well, I kind of wear a few hats in this space. I will urge everyone to please leave Danny. I can say it. I know you can't, but and I know you appreciate them appreciating you, but at the same token, you can only be split so far. And a lot of times it's questions that are probably repetitive. Because again, from my experience, I know that that's definitely true. So try not to be too much of a bug. But and you are, I do see you in the chat. I've seen you in there. So it's not like you're not showing your face. And if anybody really got really stuck somewhere, you're obviously a click away. But any other comments or anything from you, Danny, that you wanted to get across? Anything we missed that you wanted to make sure people knew about?
No, not really. Again, for the new people that are watching this, I think you can see from this, I'm not here to sell anything.
Yeah.
I'm not here to sell anything. I'm here basically sharing a blessing, and the rest of the community is pretty much the same. We will answer if you're coming into the Telegram. We will answer everything as best as we can. And but at the end of the day, if something's not there and we don't offer that thing, well, pretty much sure that we're not. There's a reason for that. Okay, so but again, there's certain things that people can ask for, like UI changes or things like that, and sometimes we'll accommodate you, and sometimes we'll do it really quickly. But please don't have an expectation out there that we're going to change up our whole thing just for you.
No, exactly. Nor should anybody, but there is some entitled people. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Awesome. Absolutely. All right. Well, I don't see any more questions, guys. Thank you so very much for joining. And sorry,
time for Alakazam. And you know what? I washed my glass, and I'm going to do just one because it's tradition.
Oh,
right? Gotcha. It's tradition, but I'm going to be driving into the city, so I'm only having one. All right. Gotcha. And I don't know if you know about this, Justin, but this is Alakazam, which is something that we'll end up doing another AMA on in the future.
Sounds good.
But everyone within my community knows this, and I have to do this as customary. Alakazam.
Alakazam to some water.
Yeah.
Well, when I come and meet you down there in Philippines, we'll have a little toast for sure.
Let's do that for sure. Definitely.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so very much for your time. And thank you everybody for joining, and appreciate all the community members. I do love it when I see a community come together, and a bunch of you came in right away and came and watched this. So I appreciate you guys supporting Danny, and good luck in everything you could do.
Thank you very